Okay, we'll start that. Hey guys, good morning everyone. Good morning guys, I'm audible. Online students, I'm audible. Guys, am I audible? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, guys, fine. Thank you. So in the last class, what we were dealing? Arrays, right? Arrays concept we were learning. So in the arrays, what is that we have seen? How to create a two-dimensional array, how to store the values, and did we see any programs on that one? Two-dimensional array? I did the sum of each row. Sorry? Sum of matrix. Sum of matrix we have seen. And rows also we have seen. Rows. Okay. Now let's see that I assume that I have a requirement here. Okay. Let me write here as visible, right? So I'll tell it as 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. I will have one more array. I'll tell 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3. Like this two arrays is there. I want to add these two arrays. And I want to store the values in different array. 1 plus 1 is 2, 4, and 6, 2, 4, and 6, 2, 4, and 6. Like this. I'll tell it as ARR and VRR. When I add ARR, VRR, it should result in CR. Understood the requirement? What is that? I need to add two arrays. That's can you do this one quickly? I'll give you 5 minutes maximum because 3 arrays you need to create. I'll give you 5 minutes. Do it. Otherwise, I will execute others. Okay. Feel free to ask the questions. Should be quick to guess. Today we have to start with the string concept also. Online students completed. Make it fast. Guys, you should be quick. Time, I'll also execute. Okay, so I'll go to Eclipse. So since I'll create object of a scanner, okay, system dot in, I'll create a reference as scan. I read three array. Okay, I'll tell ARR is equals to new int, and let me tell 3 cross 3. Okay, similarly, I'll tell BRR and CRR. Okay, next I'll tell enter ARR array elements. Okay, and for okay, I'll tell it as something called ARR. Okay, first array I have created. So next array, I'll tell this one as something called BRR. Okay. So next, what is required? I just need to calculate the sum. Okay. So to calculate the sum, I'll tell one formula. So what I need to do, I'll tell ARR of I and J should be added with the BRR of I and J. Okay. This total, what is this? ARR. क्या क्या नहीं, वो एग्जांपल दिया था ना मैं. यूजर कुछ भी दे सकता है वैल्यूज.
सपोज फॉर एक सेम कंडीशन सेम इनपुट दे रहे हैं तो एक
कर सकते हैं.
नहीं दोनों इनपुट सेम दे रहे हैं 11 और सीआर इसको ऐड कराना है.
यस, कर सकते हैं. ओके, ये हो गया ऐड हमारा. ओके, द सम ऑफ एलिमेंट्स, otherwise the sum of matrix CRR is okay. Then what I'll do here is I'll duplicate this one. I'll tell here as sys out. I'll tell CRR of I and J. That's it. Edana, you people wrote. So look at the screen. What I have done, I have created a scanner object, created 3 array of 3 cross 3 matrix. Okay, ARR, BRR, and CRR. What I'm telling, asking user to enter ARR element. Similarly, I'm asking user to enter the CRRF element. Okay, sorry, BRR element. Next, what I'm doing in this for loop, I'm calculating addition. That is, I'm adding AR of I and J with the BR of I and J. Same value in the same index, I'll store it in CR of I and J. Okay, then what I'll do, I'll print those the element which are present in CR of I and J. That's it. Clear? Easy. I'll tell run a Java application. And let's see here. I'll tell something called 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Enter BRR elements 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Output should be 2, 4, and 6. Are we getting expected output? Any doubt in this one online? Online?
No, sir.
Copy first.
No, sir.
Guys, completed? Hey, yaar, half an hour you are taking to write one program. I told 5 minutes. Should be quick. Okay, sir. First done now. Okay, fine. Can we proceed then? Now, if you see this in this particular program, that is when come to the for loop inside the condition, I am hard coding the values are I less than 3, I less than 4. Now, this is not the correct way of writing the code. Okay, I told you have to make use of an inbuilt enums or keywords which have dot length, ARR dot length. Now, if I make use of here ARR dot length, I'll tell 1 second, I'll tell ARR dot length. Okay, it is there, and here also I'll tell ARR dot length, it is fine. Now, here ARR dot length will work fine absolutely if in case, okay, what is that? The number of rows and columns are same. Okay, number of rows and number of columns, both the places 3 and 3 is there, so it will work. What if number of rows and columns are not same? At that time, ARR dot length, what it will give? Understanding what I'm trying to say? So wait, let me show you this one. I'll remove all these things. Here, if I tell sys out, okay, I'll tell ARR dot length. Okay, ARR dot length. If I run the program, and you can see here output 3 is coming as expected. Yes, because number of rows and columns are same. Now, if in case, if I make this as a 6, okay, now if I run this one, what is the output I'm getting? 3 only. Means whatever the length is coming, that length is returning the number of rows. Now, number of rows and columns are changed. At that time, can I make use of ARR dot length? No, right? It is not possible. In that case, sir, do we have to hard code? No, you need not to do the hard code. There is one trick you have to follow. Okay, what is the trick? Just look at the board here. If you understand this trick, you can create any number of dimensional array very easily. 3-dimensional, 4-dimensional, 100-dimensional also you can create very easily. What is the trick? I'll show you. Okay. Now, online students, are you there, right? Okay. Now look at here. Just understand this one concept, guys. Arrays are very easy. That is, now I told you that data is stored in what format? That is 2 cross 2 matrix. If you believe that data is actually stored in 2 cross 2 matrix in the Java, no, it is not possible. Because now tell me, if I create 3-dimensional, can the data will be stored in 3-dimensional? No, right? We have a hard disk which is our RAM in the 2-dimensional only, X and Y direction. Z direction is not the 4-dimensional, means 4th direction where from where will be doing. So it is not possible. So let's understand in the memory how it is stored. This is my array. Okay, that is I'll tell here as 0, 1 and 2. Okay, one more array will be created, and inside this one 0, 1 and 2, and here one more array and 0, 1 and 2 will be created. For this one, what will happen? One array is going to be created which is going to maintain this one. That is 0, 1 and 2. This will be pointing to this one, this will be pointing to this one. In this format, what will happen? In the memory for 2-dimensional array is going to be created. That is, it represents the row, this represents the column. But if you think that in the matrix format, no, it will not store. Okay, like this, it will store the data. Now, but to access and store the data, we can go with the matrix representation. But this is how it will show. Now, here, what is this matrix here? Now, 3 cross 3 matrix, can I tell? This is for reference. Okay, if I take here as 3 cross 3 matrix of where the values are stored. Now, if you see here, we told here as ARR dot length. Okay, when I gave here, output gave it as 3. Means I can tell that it is telling me number of rows. Now I would like to add, that is, what is one more column inside this one, like this, 3 and 3. Now what is the size of matrix? That is 3 cross 4. Okay. Now how do I find out? Okay, in this one I can give one more column. Okay, in this I can give 2 more columns like this. At the time, how do we identify till where it has to loop has to go? At that time, if I go to this 0th location, I can count the number of columns. I can go up to there. If I go to the first position, I can count the number of columns till up to there. I can do like that only for the third row. To achieve this one, what I have to do? If number of rows and columns is same, you go with this one. Okay, now for loops they are using. First for loop I represents the row. Okay, inside this one more for loop where we use j represents the column. Now in the first one, if I tell error dot length, in the first loop will it work? Yes, definitely. Why? Because error dot length represents rows, and first loop is representing row only, error dot length. Now when come to jth column, I want columns. Jth for loop, I want columns. Now I want to find in which row how many columns are there. So for that simple, you want to calculate the column present in 0th location. So you tell here as ARR of 0 dot length. AR means AR of 0. What is the length? You want the column size of AR of 1. You tell here as ARR of 1 dot length. Second one, ARR of 2 dot length. Like this. At that time, what will happen? It will represent in the 0th what is the length. In the second one, what is the length? What is the length? Those many times it can do. Now you can tell that, sir, if that is the case, every time I am again hard coding here. Why to hard code? We have previous row, right? I just mentioned remove this one. You just mentioned here as I. That's it. Got it, clarity? Now look at the screen here. What I'll do for the proof's sake. Now I'll tell here as sys out. Okay. Now how many columns do I have? 6 columns. Okay. I'll tell ARR of, I'll tell it as 0 dot length. Can you see here 0 dot length? If I run the program, can you see a 6 is coming? Yes. How do we identify number of columns to be loop? This is the way how we can identify. Now, in the for loop, you want me to write means how to write means just very simple. For int ARR of here, AR dot length, you make use of one more for loop, and inside this one, you just tell ARR of I dot length. Got the clarity? Now, what I'll do, I'll print the values. Let it print zero values only. Okay, I'll tell ARR of I and J. I'll tell plus, and this one I'll tell remove this, and I'll tell sys out of this one. Now look at here. I'll run the values. It will print the zeros. Is it printing in the 0, what is that? 3, 6 matrix? Yes. Online students, you understood how to find out the column length? Online. Yeah. Okay, fine. कहाँ चल रहा है हार्ड कोड है 3,6 उधर हमने साइज लिया है हाँ चलो ठीक है अब वो भी आप यूजर से कलेक्ट कर लो हाँ okay next quickly take down this one as a sample example. I'll tell you about 3 cross 3 matrix means how you can find out. Should be understand. सबके लिए चलेगा। Guys, completed. Now, assume that I have three-dimensional matrix. Okay. Okay. Let's assume here I have three-dimensional. First of all, how to declare three-dimensional matrix? That is same for two-dimensional matrix. What you have to do, you have to add one extra thing. That is new int of 3, 3, like this two-dimensional will be there. For this one, if you add one more square braces and one more memory here, then it will become what? Three-dimensional matrix. Okay, how to create three-dimensional matrix. Now, how do this is going to be stored? If you ask me that is, first what will happen until 3, 3, 3, okay, until 0, 1, 2 and 3, until 0, 1 and 2, inside this one what will happen? What is that? Again 3 will come. That is 0, 1 and 2, okay, and inside this one 0, 1 and 2, and inside this one again 0, 1 and 2 will come. This will represent this one, this will represent this one, this will represent this one. And inside this one, again what will happen? 3 values will come. Okay, 0, 1 and 2, like this. Again in this one, again 0, 1 and 2, and this one again 0, 1 and 2. Like this, the data is going to be stored in three-dimensional matrix. Okay, now how do we identify this one? Again, guys, 3-dimension means 3 for loop. 2-dimension means 2 for loop. 1-dimension means 1 for loop. 4-dimension means 4 for loop. Like this, a loop will be implemented. So let's take this one I and J and the K. Like this, we will take it. Okay. Now, how do I find out the number of rows and columns? Okay. Now, if I tell in the for loop, I'll tell int I is equal to 0, I less than ARR dot length. This will give me what? Number of rows, the number of columns I want to identify. Now to do that, what is that? We have seen for int j is equal to 0, j less than ARR of I dot length. This is what we have learned. Now I told here in 0 to this one, what is that? How many columns are there? Now this entire thing is coming. But I want in this one 0. That is 0th row, 0th column, what is the length? 0th row, 0th column. So, what I'll do, I'll tell for in k is equal to 0, k less than ARR of, that is I, that is 0th row, that is 0th column, inside this give me the length. That's it. I'm telling I is equal to j is equal to 0 mean AR of 0th row, 0th column, what is that? Okay. Now, if it is fourth dimension, what is that? One more, let me take L here as a loop until int k is equal to 0, k less than here of I, j, k dot length. Like this, you can identify the length of any particular column, and you need not to hard code. You can make use of this technique, and you can find out the number of rows, means columns that you need to look for. Clear? Online, is it clear? Anyone wants to explain once again? Online? Is it clear online?
Yes, sir.
Okay, copy this.
See,
if you know the number of rows and columns same नहीं है, तो हम लोग क्या करते हैं? Correct. Starting में आपको same size दिखाया, उसके बाद बिना size दिखाया. क्या question आया है इधर? Sir, in interview, how many arrays do we have to make? That is depend on them. Okay. See, they'll not go beyond 2 dimensions. If they give 3 or 4 dimensional, to write only will take half an hour. For interview, it will take 1 more day. So they'll not go beyond that. But you should be aware of this. Okay, maximum the last 2 dimensional array in an interview. If your luck is really bad, at that time they'll go to 3 dimension. Don't worry, they'll not go beyond that. But you should be aware of how to create multi-dimensional and how to store the data and how to manipulate with the data. Okay, Sarfaraz? Okay. Any other questions?
So what is jagged array?
Yes, I'll come to that as the next topic. Actually, if I tell you, wait. If I tell you as 4, this has number 5. Now tell me, everything is different. Number of rows and columns, and again the Z direction is again changed. This is only we call it as jagged array. Means there is no specifics here. Array, if you are creating 2-dimensional array in this format, that is, let me tell it as something called first element here 10, and in second one I'll tell it as 10, 9, 20, and in third one I'll tell it as something called 10, 20, and 30, and one more I'll create here as something called 10, 9, 20, like this. Tell me, is it different for in every place? This is only we call it as a jagged array. Jagged, jagged array. Where number of rows and columns are not specific in each and every one. Any row can match, but it should be different. This is only we call it as jagged array. And how to deal with this one? The same technique. That is number of I and j you can mention. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. बताया ना? हाँ. Is used to store continuously homogeneous elements. 1 dimension का 2 dimension आता है in 2 dimension. 3 dimension मतलब 3 in 3 dimension बस. ऐसा कोई specific definition नहीं है 2D. बस बोल दो same definition. Instead of 1D, it will, if it will mention 2D, it's done. That is done. Done.
Sir, is it possible to take user input in case of jagged array?
Sorry, what?
Sir, if I have jagged array, so that time can I take a user input?
Yes, it is possible. So what is the changes is happening over there? That nothing, that just inside a for loop, just mention here of I, j is equals to scan dot next in. That's it. It will work.
Oh, got it.
Done. Now, very important concept about an array. Let's discuss that. Completed copying. Okay. So let's discuss very important topic. That is, let me make use of what I can do it here is, let me remove this part and I'll tell sys out and not sys out. It is ARR of I and j is equals to scan dot next int. Okay, and inside this one here. See guys, what I'll do, I would like to print also this one. Okay, what I can tell here is ARR of I and j. Let me remove this part. I'll give some space here and after that I'll give here. Okay, now see here what will happen. If I tell here as 1, okay, 2 and 3, it is taking. If I tell here as high, what I'm telling, inside a integer array, I want to store what? String value. I'll click on enter. What happened here? Input mismatch exception is coming up. As per the definition of an array, what is that I told? Array is a collection of homogeneous type of elements, means same type of elements. I cannot store a different data type. Okay, now integers are same type, it is fine. When I declare it as a string value, it is giving me error. Means this proves that can we store a heterogeneous value, sir? Not possible. It is possible. How? Okay, before showing you that, wait, what I'll do here is I'll stop my screen sharing. I'll make the changes in the code. I'll show you the output, then I'll discuss about that. So what I'll do here is I'll tell okay, I'll run the program. I'll share the screen. Now look at here, guys. What I'll do, I'll share, I'm declaring here as 1, 2, high. Okay. Okay, one mistake I have made. 1 second. What I'll do here is I have made it a scan dot next int, right? How do I collect all the values? Means okay. Now I believe it will work. Okay, now I'll tell it as 1 high. Okay, 3. I'll tell true. Okay, I'll write it in proper order. 1 second. Run once again. I'll tell 1, 2 high and the 3 boolean value. Next, I'll tell 23.44f. Okay. Next, I'll tell 88. And next is what? I'll give some big number. Okay. And what I'll do is next is which one? Which data type is missing? Character, right? I'll tell A. Okay. I'll click on enter. Can you see it? All the values are getting printed. How it is happening? Now, believe me, I have created two-dimensional array only, and inside that only I'm trying to store the data. How this is happening? Now, if this is happening properly means, do you think that what definition of an array I have given that is wrong? Definition galat hai na? because it is able to store different type of data. If you are telling me the definition is wrong, in the previous, what is that I have told, right? I stored integer value. After that, when I gave high, it gave me error. Then which is correct now? Either that is correct or definition is correct, or what I am doing is correct. Which one is correct? All are correct. Huh? Store ho rahi hai. Then definition is wrong. If you tell definition is wrong, prior to this one, I gave one more example. In that, I showed you that the heterogeneous data storing is not possible. If that is correct, then definition is correct. If definition is correct, this is wrong. How it is happening? Which is correct? Confusing? Yes, this is how they will trick you in an interview. Okay, this is how they'll confuse you in an interview. You should never change with your answer. You should stick to your answer saying that, yes, array stores only homogeneous type of data. Okay, then how did I solve this problem? How did I store? Means very simple. I declared array is of type object. Okay, what about object here? Integer means what? Integer data it will store. Okay. If I declare it as something called float array, it will store what? Float type of data. String means string type of data. Now I have declared it as a object. Now you should remember, guys, this I have never spoke that. In the Java, there is one parent class called object class, who is the parent of all the classes in Java. Okay. Now look at here carefully. In the Java, what and all data types we have seen? Something called int, byte, short, long, float, double, etc. etc. What and all is there now? These all are primitive and child data type of the data type called object. This object is the parent of integer, byte, short, long, float. All the data types will come under the object only. He is like a parent data type. He has the capability to handle all the children's data. Now, assume that you have a parent, father is there. Okay, for father, 2 to 3 children is there. Now, father knows every father and mother. Don't get offended after that. So, I'm telling father or parents. Let me. Parents are aware and capable of handling all the different activities and behavior of the child. Now, child can act like only child only. He cannot act as a parent. Agree? Like that only. Integer array, if you declare, he can store only integer. Short means only short. He cannot store any other data type. If you declare it as an object array, he has the capability to store all the different data types inside. Okay. Now tell me which is the correct answer. Stores homogeneous or heterogeneous? Homogeneous. Array in object has no different now. See, again I'm putting a trap. You people are getting stuck there.
But वो तो parent object है ना.
Parent है तो क्या different data store हुआ ना? हाँ तो homogeneous heterogeneous हुआ. कैसे हो गया? ये कैसे same हो गया? Come on, you know the answer. See, if you know the answer, if you are sure about that, try to give an argument, but don't fight with interviewer. Hey, no, I am correct. Don't do that. Just try to argue, give a positive feedback. No, sir, this is what is happening. This is how. If you tell no, I am correct only. Sir, yes, sir, you might be right, but this is what happened. Politely, you should slap him. Not physically. In the words only, you have to slap. Now, what is the answer? Is it homogeneous, heterogeneous? Heterogeneous. See, this is the slap. You lose the marks. Okay. Now, heterogeneous means in integer, if I store byte short, it is heterogeneous. In the object, if I store int, byte and short, it looks like heterogeneous. But what type of object it is? Object is nothing but it has a capability of storing int short, but all the different. Means it belongs to object only. It belongs to means it is storing same type of data, that is object type. Then it is a homogeneous type of data only. है ना? ये सारे इसके अंदर ही है, तो इसके अंदर ही ये सारा स्टोर करूंगा तो हेट्रोजीनियस है होमोजीनियस हो गया, होमोजीनियस हो गया ना. So hence what is that? It is a collection of homogeneous type of data. You should never change. Got the clarity? Online you understood?
Yes, sir.
Online. Guys respond here.
Yes, sir.
Yes sir. Okay. So just take a note of this program. Okay. I need to show you few more things in an interview what they will do it. Okay. Just copy this much what I have selected. Once you complete this one, I'll give you one more task. I want you to create an array which will store different type of data like integer, float, string, any type of, provided the array should be not of type object. Okay, I know if I tell you'll create object array, you'll store, but this time it should not be an object or type of array. Let's see who will do this. Try to give, I'll give you 2 minutes. Guys, completed online. What is the solution? Then you said yes, sir. Hey, copy karna hua. I was keeping hopes. Online. Anyone? How to store different type of data in a single array without creating an object type of array? Okay, fine. If you have not tried, don't worry. What I'm going to teach you is the most important in an array. Because if in case you want to become a developer, most of the time you create an array in this format which I'm going to create. Okay, what are the benefits of this one also I'll show you. You tell me which are the data types you want me to show you to store. Don't tell all, okay? Just tell before. String, integer, long, double, okay. Okay, now to do this one, what you have to do, you have to create a user defined array. Now, object array, integer array, float array are inbuilt array. Okay, we are not going to create. It is an inbuilt array. Now we will create our own array in which what we'll do, we'll store our own type of data. Okay, for an example, let me create visible, right? I'll tell class student, I'll tell class student, and I'll tell it as something called string name. Okay, I'll tell you as in roll number. Okay, next what is called long Aadhaar. Next double. What is double? Double. What does the student has double? Percentage. Okay, we'll tell it as percentage. Okay, now I'll close this class. Now what I have done, I have created a class of student, in which what I have done, I have declared the fields or variable for which type of data I want to store. Now what I'll do, I'll create a class. I'll tell class, I'll tell it as main. Inside this one, I tell public static void main. Okay, and inside this one, I will create an array. What type of array I'll create is user defined array, right? Now, if I declare integer, only integer data, string is only string data. Object I should not use. So what I do, I'll create an array of type student. Student, I'll tell yes is equals to new student. Okay, now how much data you want to store? Let me tell 3 students data I want to store. Like this. What I have done now, array of type student, not integer. Array has been created. Now inside this I want to store the data and I need to print. What happens here is, as soon as I tell this one array will be created in heap memory. Okay, and what is our size 3? I'll tell 0, 1 and 2, and this is of name is yes. Here 0 will not be there. Here it will be containing null value initially null. Okay, now can I store here integer value? Can I store integer? Can I store string? Can I store long and double inside this one? No. Again, it will give you a slab saying, I am type student. In the student, you're giving me what? Integer data, string data will I take? No. Then what does this will contain? Remember, this is what you need to understand most here. If you create an array of type integer, you can store integer value. Okay, now if you create string type of value, you can store. Now you created yes belongs to what? Student type of data. Inside that, if you give here integer, will you take No, sir, it will give you slap saying that integer means integer, student means you should store student type of data. You cannot store integer data over there.
Different type of data means string in long
हाँ वो डायरेक्ट नहीं स्टोर कर सके आपको स्टूडेंट के अंदर डाल स्टूडेंट का ऑब्जेक्ट स्टोर करना understood directly integer I cannot store and what I do I'll create an object of a student in an object I'll store integer in string long and double and this entire object I'll store it till today in an array we directly stored the values but now I'll store the object inside an object I'll store the values. Got the clarity? Now I want to store multiple students. Now what I can do? Now we know how to create an object, right? So I'll tell for in I is equal to 0, I less than s dot length. I'll tell I plus. What will happen? S dot length means what is the size of a student array? That many times it will do. Now we have till today we have done so many programs that is creating an object of and to that object we can store the data. Now I'll tell you something called new student. New student object is created for this student. I'll tell here something called yes. Okay, I'll tell it as one more way. This is possible. Another type. Okay. I'll tell here as I'll tell this one as SI. I'll take this one as SI. Otherwise, duplicate variable will come. Yes, if I declare as this one here.
Sir, object.
It will.
Like obj.
Okay, wait. Different. I'll tell student. Yes is equals to null initial. Is there any problem if I declare here? Yes of type what I used to declare. Now I'm declaring yes of type reference I have created that in that reference I'm creating an object of a student. Is there any problem with this one? No. No, right? So I'll tell here as yes dot. Here as soon as I tell here student object will be created. In the student object what will happen? Name, roll number, other and percentage will be there. Now I'm telling I'll tell here as name. What is that? Roll number. I'll tell here as the Aadhaar and I'll tell it as percentage. Like this object will be created. Now I'm telling yes, this object name is I'm telling yes. Hey, yes, go and store the name inside this one. I'll tell yes dot scan dot next. Okay, I'll tell here as yes dot name is equal to scan dot next. Make a yes in your name and store the string value. I'll tell yes dot roll number is equals to scan dot next int. Next int. Okay. I'll tell yes dot what is that other and roll what is that percentage I'll store. Okay. Then what I'll do now entire data I'm keeping in one object. Yes or no? Now what is that I need to do? I need to keep this object in an array. Because here what is required? Entire object need to be stored and direct file storing is not possible. So what is an object? I tell yes I of I is equal to yes I. Now entire data it is present in an object called yes. Now putting this yes object inside this array. That's it. Your work is done. Shall I execute and show you this one practically? Tell me, is there any doubt in this one?
So S dot name possible means initially.
Yes, in a yes reference, you go to name and inside this one you store the name, roll number, or other and percentage. Stored now entire this object you put it in this array. That is what I'm doing.
Longer double click standard.
Standard next long next double. That's it. Sir, repeat once more. Which part? Which parts of class? Just overall. Completely? Okay, no problem. See here, what I have done, I have created a class. Okay, in this class, which type of data I want to store, those data types are declared. Okay, now we know that how to create an object of a class. I'll tell you as student yes is equals to new student. Is there any problem in this one? No, right? As soon as we create an object, what will happen? The class will be loaded and the copy of the instance variable will be created in an object. Okay, object has been created. Inside this object, name variable will come and sit from here. Next, roll number will come and sit here. Next, Aadhaar will come here and percentage will come and sit. Initially, it will have what? Default values inside this. Object I have created. Clear? Is it clear, Sarfraz? Clear? Is it clear? Yes. Okay. Now look at here. I'm telling yes, go and store the name inside this one. So I tell yes dot name is equals to name I have collected. I'm telling yes, go and store the roll number. I tell yes dot roll number is equals to roll number. Like this, what I do, I'll store the Aadhaar and percentage also. Is it clear till here? So what is happening here? In the object, I'm storing all the values, name, roll number, Aadhaar and percentage. Clear till here? Now I am telling what I do. I have created an array which is of type student. Yes or no? This object is of type what? And a student only. No, student object is this is a student type of object. This object I'll store it inside an array. So do that what I'm telling. Whatever object S you have created, you store inside S of I. If I value is equal to 0, first it will store the student one object. I value will increment. Second time student second object. Third time student third object will be stored. Now is it clear? Yes. Okay. Now I'll execute and show you this one. Please look at here carefully. Once you understand, then you can do it by your own. I'll tell string name, okay, in roll number. Next, I'll tell it as long Aadhaar, okay. I'll tell it as double percentage, okay. Next, what I'll do, I'll come and create an array of type student. I'll tell student yes is equals to new student. I'll tell here as size. Let me take 3 students data I want to store. Okay, student array has been created. Now I'll make use of a for loop, and inside this one, what I'll do first, I'll create a student yes is I'll make it as si here. Okay, student s is equals to null value. Okay, is there any problem till here? No, I'll tell this one as si here, so it is ready. So what I'll tell yes is equals to new student. Okay, new student object has been created. Now I'll ask the user to enter the student name. I'll tell enter the student name. Okay, I'll enter the let me hard code some values here, not hard code, dynamically only. I'll tell enter the I+1 student name. Okay, student roll number. Okay, I'll tell it as what is that? Aadhaar. Okay, next I'll tell percentage. Okay, now what I'll do, I'll tell it as yes dot name is equals to scan dot next. What happened? Next. Okay, next what I'll do, I'll tell yes dot roll number is equals to scan dot next int. Okay, next what I'll do here, I'll tell s dot Aadhaar is equals to scan dot next long. Okay, next I'll tell here s dot what is that? Percentage is equals to scan dot next double. Till here is it clear?
Now what I'll do, I'll tell Si of I is equals to S value. I'm storing all the values inside that one. Now what I can do, it is ready. I can print the values also. Okay. I'll tell what I can do here is sys out. I'll tell I plus 1. Okay. Student name is. Okay. I'll tell Si as of I dot name. Okay. Similarly, I'll tell roll number. I'll it as something called Aadhaar. Okay. I'll tell it as something called percentage. I'll tell it as something called roll number. Okay. And this one I'll tell it as Aadhaar. And this I'll tell it as something called percentage. Ready? Yeah? This one is ready. Now what I'll do after printing this one, I would like to give some space. Okay. Shall we run the program now? I'll run it. Huh? Hard code nahi hai. Agar I see here, if I tell 0th student name is what end user will understand. I should tell him first student name, right? So I'll tell I value is 0 means 0 plus 1 is equals to 1. If it is second means 2 plus 1, it is 3, like this. Okay. So see here, enter the one student name. Okay. I'll tell it as something called Sachin. Okay. Roll number, I'll tell it as 10. And Aadhaar, I'll tell it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And percentage, I'll tell it as something called 89. Okay. Enter second student. I plus 1 I have given. That is the result. Okay. Next, I'll tell something called Virat. Okay. Roll number 18. Okay. Aadhaar, I'll tell 6, 7, 8, 9. And 8, I'll tell. And percentage, let me tell 99. Okay. Third student, I'll tell it as something called, whom shall we write? Dhoni. Okay. Dhoni. Roll number is 7 here. And I'll tell something called some number, and the percentage I'll tell it as something called 92. Huh? Okay. I'll click on enter. Can you see here? All the student data is coming as expected. First student name, first student roll number, Aadhaar, percentage. What happened here? We have stored multiple student data in a given array. Clear? Online students understood? Online?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, copy first. Quickly, you should copy. Concept name you write down as user defined arrays. Heading you write down as user defined arrays. Then write down as one more heading as array of objects. User defined arrays or array of objects as a heading.
Please ask if you have any doubts.
Yeah. Hmm.
Means that is students.
Make it fast. Yeah.
One more question. Is it mandatory to create null value? No, it is not mandatory. Okay, you can directly create here also. I want to deal with the same object again and again. So I have created here as this. Okay, it will work surface. Fine, guys.
If you want to
Completed.
write it in a single line, then how?
Sorry,
If we want to write that in a single line, how we need to write, sir?
which single line?
That student object.
Write it here now.
Of null.
This one you are asking, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just mention it here. That's it.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Better approach is this one. Completed, guys. Copying done. Fine, guys. That will be sufficient for today. Okay. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you, guys.